Hello and good afternoon. Today is July the 27th, 2020. This is the Service Hero Show. 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. My name is Tamara Hunter. I am your host, and we are the show that tells the inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. So let's do this. All right, we have today's service hero. I am beyond excited about this. I asked Julie Christopher, our service hero of the day. Juju is what some call her. I call her my dear friend. And she is here to be featured and honored and highlighted for everything that she does. Also, she is here to celebrate my mom's birthday, who is in heaven. Yes, she has her, that's my belief, and she has her wings. Yet it is a big day for me because of everything that's been going on this year. So I want to say thank you for being with me today.
Wow. And I'm here with you, and we all are with you, Tamara. And it is not about um, our title, what we do. Of course, what we do to inspire others is very important. It's a purpose within a purpose. But what you said at your introduction, it's like we're here and we're here now. And we're here now to support you. And as we support you, Tamara, through this day and through this, really is counterintuitive what I'm going to be saying, but it's through this celebration. Because it's a celebration of liberation.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so it's a good thing to cry. It's a good thing to be expressive. It's a good thing to let what it is that it is,
Mm-hmm.
without putting this experience into a container. Just let it be in the connection of source and divine source, which is where the truth lives in. And when we remove the anxiety behind those negative belief system that's been taught for us for centuries after centuries, generation after generation, like death, for instance, is something that is such a bad theme that it creates such a fear in our human evolution that many of us, most of us, believe that there is a separation between life and death. And as American, we're so stingy in stingy in our mind, in our mindsets, that we have forgotten that there is a higher path, that we're all on this higher path. No matter what your belief is, no matter what your religion is, no matter what color you are, whether you know that you are officially on the path or not, at the core of every human, we are all on this path. So it might take all these fears and this negative belief system to take us to self-realization. So we need it all. We need the fear, but eventually, some of us realize what? Perhaps now it's time to wake up. Perhaps now it's time to be free and free ourselves from this mindset that's been really locking us into this box. a slave in the mind. And
Uh-huh.
I'm here to say what? That today I want to celebrate you and Karen, because not only celebrate, but how grateful I am for your mom, because you wouldn't be here with me today and you would have not be able to unlock your full potential, which is to unlock others and millions of others, which is what you do every day by giving your compassion and your kindness and your love and your words to so many in need. You know, I just I was meeting with Frank
Shankwitz.
Rich,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not the first time, obviously, that we get to hang out. But I'm not going to tell you the whole story. But something that stands up, that his quote. So I'm quoting him, and it says, they want help. If they come for you to help for help, give it to them.
Right.
Give it to them. If they need help, give it to them. And it sounds simple, but can you imagine if everyone would be applying your 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 uh, your purpose every day, Tamara? Like everyone would say every day, okay, today I'm gonna get up, and how about I don't have to think much, but just about, hey, my intention, if I meet a human being that crossed my path, gro-
Mm-hmm.
grocery store, whatever, how about I give? What about giving a word, a smile, an inspiration, a
Mm-hmm.
moment, you know? So I want to say that I thank you for
Mm-hmm.
being you. And I thank Karen, your mom, to have been the model that really, the foundation which we know your purpose is today. So it comes from her. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. It is very much from her. And we have a lot of people that are here joining us, and I want to recognize them. And yes, guys, if it looks a little different, it does, because we had to, at the last minute, we punted. We shifted, and we went with this platform rather than the other one, and it was meant to be, because we just couldn't make the other one work, and we were meant to be here. So it does look a little different, and I'm loving it. Carol, good afternoon, Carol, and love you, and so glad you're here. Christopher Kaysen, so happy you're with us too. And Skip Thomas, of course, so happy you're here. And they're starting to talk with each other. That's always fun. Sherry McQueen, love you. Glad you're here with us. And they're absolutely, anybody that knows any what I'm involved with, they all know how much I love Julie, and they love her too. They love Juju. They just do, and it's I love in the love, guys. And Lori, I'm glad you're here with us. And it's so much fun when they start talking with each other, because that's what it's all about. And you have been coming into our communities. Well, I had gathered all sorts of pictures and fun, and I found the picture of the very first day we met. I did not know. I remember we had one taken. I didn't know I had it. And I found it. Yeah, I did. And you had your long hair, and I'm in my speaker garb, and and you can't tell that I had my shoes off, but because I was barefoot at the time when we did that, and it was just like so much fun. I'm like, oh, blast from the past.
I remember that I commanded. I said, "You take your shoes off now. You don't need
Yeah.
those damn shoes. Stop running from the shoes."
Yeah, you did, and there I am. I'm taking, and we're in Tucson or Phoenix in that area, Scottsdale, one of those areas there, at one of these hotels. And you had spoken, I had spoken, and then we were out there visiting. And you're like, okay, take those off. You need to be more comfortable, and yeah, you're very, you're flowing and everything, and I'm looking at myself and I'm thinking, wow, you can see the evolution of relaxation and such, because when it's been an interesting ride over the last period of times, and from that moment and then to today, and that's what I absolutely love too about all of the community, all of the people coming together, all of the awareness that's taking place, all the love that's being shared, and you're very much a part of that. And so much so that today it was really interesting. I was there waiting and I was doing a few things, and she shows up, and it was because of the experience that we had had not long ago in the closed group. And it meant so much to everybody that you still stayed with it, because we couldn't get you on camera. It just never did happen where we could have the camera actually, where Skip and Christopher and we all could be seen, yet you could not. Yet you stayed, and you played, and your guitar, you sang, you did all the magical, wonderful things that you do. And it meant so much to the community. It meant so much to all of us that you didn't give up on us. You stayed with us,
Oh,
and that is who you are. and
oh,
and you know and I wanted to share that too, because people need to understand that when not everything is always going to go perfect, no
no,
matter what.
no.
And it's the ones that really had those hearts of service, like you do, like you were saying, like Frank is, and like what he was sharing.
Mm,
When we can serve each other,
mm,
that's the greatest thing we can do. And truthfully, that's how my mom was. My mom was that kind of person.
of
Hmm.
course, of course. You're an extension of her spirit and her heart and her soul mission, that she was very, very much like you. And I mean, no wonder you turned out the way you turned out and the things that you do. I mean, you had to get it from somebody or somewhere. I mean, you're very fortunate because, be very, very grateful, and I know you are, and gracious about it, because a lot of us didn't have that growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, right, right, right. And I'm going to let you continue there, and then I'm going to follow it up, because there's more to the story than. But keep going, yeah, because I you had a completely you had an interesting evolution, let's say, to get here to the United States. Not everybody knows your story.
And that's okay too. I think that, I feel like I don't have to be the, hey, get your brand out there and get your story out there. I mean, there is a truth to that, but it's like, for me, it's the underground soul level work and the heart level. So when that is happening, what happens is there's an expansion of you, of this light that is beyond the physical, that reaches beyond miles. And so what happens is that people actually feels a calling towards
Mhm.
that,
Yeah.
and they might think it's towards me, but at the end of the day it's not. It's really a calling towards, I want to liberate my mind. I want to experience more the heart center, all these things. And
Hmm.
so I am very fortunate that I was able to awaken at a very early age. And it's a powerful invitation. And I don't teach anything because there's nothing to teach. And so I'm the rebel, I'm the spiritual rebel to say what? We can only exit if we have really the burning desire and if we're tired of learning and not being in that cycle and not being able to exit the path. So it's you and source. You come here to this earth alone and you will go towards God alone. Like in between those two moments, there is everything else. But you come here alone and you go to God alone. So that to say what? You better be at peace
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah. Right.
Finding out who you are, what you are made for, what's your birth, what's your purpose in your birth. You got to figure it out, and I am not the one who's going to teach that. Why? Because it's your job to discover it with your own power of authority. Now, if you like to keep out there and going to try to learn more, you're going to take yourself away from your core truth, and you might learn intellectually, you might retain the information, but know this, that the truth is not in that information. One day, you are going to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of going around like a dog chasing the tail. And you're going to realize that your mind has been playing tricks and you haven't yet figured out the way to liberate the mind and to control your mind like a puppy. You'll let the mind control you. So once we exit and we'll liberate our mind, you don't need to force anything, because you're in that place where it's always a meditation. No matter if you go to the bathroom, wash the dishes, or sit and meditate, there is no disconnect, there is no separation. It's you and source, and your job is to find out who you are, to wake up. Enlightenment comes later. Enlightenment is not a goal, you guys. I hear a lot of stuff and BS about it. Enlightenment is not a goal. Enlightenment is something that happens or doesn't after you awaken and find out who you are. But first, you got to find out who you are.
Skip is saying here, let me get this up and let's see show. Yes, Juju, fellow rebel for truth and awakening. I was expecting to hear from him. I was like, okay, yes, and what you were talking about, I knew he was gonna like step up and say something, and there you go. I absolutely adore this, because what truth? And in fact, it's not an accident that you're here today. And it's interesting the way it all happened, because it's not like I invited you, if you will, like saying, oh, the 27th is my mother's birthday, I'd like you on. No, that's not how this happened at all, is it? No. We have been doing a bit of a dance, and each time that you were almost on, something happened, and then we had to switch things around, and then we almost had a date and it wasn't quite right, it was close, and then you're like, okay, I got it, I can be there on the 27th. And I thought, absolutely, this was, you talk about divine, and you talk about and some kind of, someone getting involved, source or divine, or my mom. I would not be surprised, because that would be the thing. She would be like, oh yeah, that friend of yours, that Juju, she needs to be on there, because she gets me, she gets this.
Yeah, and you know, and she's saying, and if so, those who don't know me too well, I grew up with a gift that truly was a curse for a long time. As a baby, you know, I could connect to people who have passed on, and they would come to me and talk to me, and so my mom would find me as a little baby in my crib talking to people, you know, the invisible, like the Sixth Sense, the movie. I'm like the little boy, right? And I grew
That's
up.
what I was thinking of. Yeah, the movie, of course.
And so it was a curse in the way because they could give me messages from heaven. They could give me messages from the fifth dimension, the archangels. You know, I connected to archangel, and so. But this is my world. This is what I've lived from
Right,
birth. I
right,
didn't even discover it. It just was, and I
right,
couldn't
right,
push it
right,
away. There's no way I could push it away.
right.
So I grew up that way. And then I became to help people, giving them messages from their loved ones. Actually, I was working a radio show in Paris as a psychic. I know it is what it is. I got to say it.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
This show was very popular, and people used to send me flowers at the radio station in Paris, and so I worked that way. And then because it was such a gift, and I still obviously help people without the title of, oh, the healer, the psych, because at the end of the day, we all gifted,
Right,
and this
right.
door,
Mhm.
this illumination, this door is within all of us. It
Mhm.
is part of being awakened. This is part of being aware of who we are. This is part of saying, hey, I'm not this thought, I'm not this body, I'm not this skin. None of that is real, you know? And so when we really connect to source and have this communication, this dialogue
Mhm.
with the higher self, it you don't no longer think. And I was blessed with the curse of autism because I couldn't read and write and couldn't go to regular school because of that. So it was a blessing in disguise. It's as if God says, hey, this one, she's got a gift, and we're not gonna torture her, going to tell her that she has to learn all this crap because we want to make sure that she stays pure with her gift. And that's what it is, you know? So I couldn't go to regular school. I couldn't do the certain things that normal humans do. And right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
No, I get you on that one.
because
Yeah.
I had to unlock this gift. That was my
Right.
purpose.
Yeah.
And I was able to recognize that was such a gift, tremendous gift. And I tell you, all of you, you know your gift. That's it. Stay there. Don't try this, that, the other. No. You know who you are. You have this gift. You put that in place. Don't worry about who does what. Because
Mhm.
all my life I had to go through what? Adversity, objection. You're stupid. You're crazy. You're dumb. Nah, you're not blonde enough. You're not this and that. All this stuff, right? But you know what? I always went back to my heart, and my heart always in alignment with what my truth was and my power of authority. I was probably alone in that role because I didn't have support, but I had support.
Mhm.
And that support was the only thing I needed. you
Mhm.
know, at the age
Right.
of 5, I knew what meditation was. I was 5, and I
Mhm.
knew the
Mhm.
message of meditation, not the learning of meditation,
Right. No,
the
right.
message of meditation that I fell in love with. Not the meditation and the process and the stupid things that make you do the breathing, the this, the that. All this is so dumb. And I don't understand how they still keep going on because people cannot exit and they cannot get the message of meditation. They cannot be free, and they still have to the noise more oh, I'm gonna breathe in, I'm gonna do I'm gonna go I'm gonna elevate, I'm gonna, oh my gosh, I feel enlightened. Okay, all this crap, stop the madness, guys. It's not happening. You don't need to go there anymore. You can be free, but just sitting and closing your eyes, and don't do anything, because everything that you're going to be doing is going to interfere with the very process and the very goal that you're seeking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and that's maybe another conversation. I don't know. I got into this, but
No, and Skip's saying yes. Okay, amen. He's got it. He's like yes. And and I will say this, and it's really interesting because I this has been a real impactful year for many of us. We're at this place in time right now where some are waking up, some are not, and it's a time where we can choose which way we want to go, and if we want to open our eyes or if we want to just like put blinders on, it's a choice. And the evolution of the awakening for many is a journey, and we've been talking about that in the morning as I've been going out on walks and such, and so much is finally coming full circle for myself, and I know that there's many others that are starting to experience those full circles of their lives, because too many have been fragmenting because of that. Okay, buy into this, now do that, do this is the road you need to be on, this is the traveling you need to be doing, and sometimes we may have bought into some of that, yet it felt disjointed possibly. And so then what are you doing? And I was explaining this earlier, that it was like chapters of the book but not the complete book. Now the complete book is finally coming together, and in my own particular life. And so this experience of today, and celebrating my mother's life, and truthfully bringing a full circle to her relationship with myself, because when you have strong women in a family, it can be an interesting situation. And she was a very strong character, she is a strong character, and pure silence opens your mind. Yes, yes, opening ourselves up to being aware. And with my mom, there, when you're talking about an extension and everything, there was. However, I did not embrace it like I could have. I am now. And that is where the full circle is coming in, and it's a big deal. It's a real big deal. And allowing for that whole full circle to take place, and um allowing for the miracles and the power and the magic, if you will, because I was brought up by a single mom. She was a single mom most of that time, and very gifted single mother. Yet, she had her demons that she dealt with, and it wasn't easy for some of that time. And being a little bit of a high spirit, not high spirited, but I have to say I was a little opinionated to some of that, and now I can say I was, and that's the way it was, and now I can apologize even to myself for that experience, because I I was I expected so much because she had so much to give. And I believe I took some of that for granted, because she was just so amazing that when you have that, you keep expecting that you're going to just keep seeing that. And if for some reason that human side comes through, that's when I became a little high and mighty, if you will. And so I want to publicly apologize to my mom for that part of our journey. And that's a full circle in my life. And so I know that you get this, and you understand this, and sometimes being able to publicly announce what it is that we want to say, and then let it go, right? We let it go, and miracles can happen from all of that, and that is where I am, and I'm glad you're here with us.
Mm,
Christopher is saying, hard to hear when one lets themselves get distracted by static noise around them. And
mm.
Christopher, of course, with he comes from the autistic area too, that, and thank you for sharing, Christopher. So, I know that that wasn't as eloquent as it could have been. However, it came from the heart, and it's something that in life, on our journey right now, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are experiencing in year 2020 in July and what's happening in the pandemic. A lot of people have been closed up in situations where they may be feeling stressed out because they might be in it's bringing the best and the worst out in some people, right? And we need to forgive ourselves. We need to forgive ourselves, and we need to forgive others too. A lot more forgiving. And that's what I needed to do. And so
So
thank you for
beautiful.
that loving smile. I just
So
absolutely adore you.
I just love you to pieces, and I wrote something not very long ago, or I don't remember. It doesn't matter. It says something like this: the most the most torture. I don't remember. It's in my Facebook, but it's a code. Um, the torture, the human torture is the inability to forgive ourselves and others. That is
Yes.
that is at the top of, if we can unlock from that, there is such a freedom in the heart space, that there's so many pieces of the puzzles that gets to be resolved, because there is beyond understanding, beyond logic, that we realize in just a moment. Just like when you walk in nature and listen to birds, it's right there. It's all what it is. It is it. And without trying to understand, we somehow realize, coming from the heart, it is not a head space thing. It's right here
Hmm.
in our
Hmm.
spiritual beingness and sacredness, that we realize that nothing is done to us. It's
Hmm.
always for us. It's serving us along
Yeah.
the way.
Right.
It's
Yes.
serving you, Tamara. Those moments that you had with your mother that was harsh and tough, that's what sculpted your compassion that you have today. So without those,
Yeah.
who knows?
Right.
So such a gift that we have to remind ourselves that all the beings, especially the one who gave us the tough love, the tough
Hmm.
time.
Yeah.
If you are watching this and you have someone who's in your life that really presses your button, what a gift. Because
Yeah.
they are helping you
Right.
to put a mirror in one of those trigger, so you can reveal that pain and deal with it. So embrace it, and don't fight it or react. Instead, respond. Try. It's not an easy task, but that is human evolution, is how we respond instead of reacting.
Right.
And it's not in a headspace. We react from here, we respond from here. So
Hmm.
my job is to cut your head off, so you finally, I'm like a ninja, I have a big sword, and I take all your mindful, we call it mindfulness, I don't know who invented this word, out with a big sword, so you can become mindlessness, and you can realize that all of it is a miracle. You gotta wake up.
That's
You
right.
gotta wake up. Your suffering is a miracle. Your moments of happiness is a miracle. It freaking is a miracle all the way out and all the way till the last breath and
Mhm.
after that. So there is no such a thing as black and white and this, that, the other, and it's all is. And
Mhm.
it's like you talked about, take your blinds off.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go farther ahead, which I just did a movie, and Frank was in it. And it was about speaking the truth, because
Uh-huh.
that's my mission. It's
Yes.
about liberating your mind, but you can only liberate your mind if you have the burning desire at the end of your path to say, what? I am finally ready to feel a relief, to feel a
Mhm.
release, that everything I've been taught was a lie, but it takes courage to get there. There's
Mhm.
very
Yeah.
little group of people are going to get that. Very little. And Skip and everyone who's here, you already got it. That's why you're here, right? So our job as shepherd, right? We teach that what? That the truth is within yourself. It's not in the books. It's not in that. Stop monkeying around. Your learning is not. Let me ask you this, Tamara.
Okay.
Watch this. And everyone, after everything you learn, and learn, right? How did that work out for you? All this learning.
Oh, well, here, let's let Skip say what he's got to say here. He's like totally loving this. He's hanging with us. I love it. And guys, yes, this is a Service Hero show, but it's a little unique edition of it. And so, how is the learning? That's a good question, and I I have realized that, and actually Skip has helped, you have helped others, Joy, Willa, some others, is that the headspace learning is not what I am here to do, and possibly others are here to do too. It's the heart space living in learning, and learning to to realize that the heart is where I want to be living from. I want to be living from it. I've been talking about our superpower, superpower, and mine is love. And coming from this place, I'd much rather from this point on in my life be learning from here. Though I have to say I am a certified geek. I love to know things, but that's different. Knowing something is different than learning something. And the learning, I want to be coming from here. The know, and the knowledge, if you will, and
Intellect.
yeah, the intellect. I have fun with that. But you and I have talked about this because you are amazing that's why the biz tuition, that is, what you do with people and helping them to go there, and that's where you thrive. Oh my goodness, can I tell you guys, this woman thrives in that environment. And when we have been, together in a room and dealing with stuff, I love it when you are able to just recall something and be there and talk about it, and that is where the intellect, yes, the intellect needs to be sharp and be there. However, the learning, I I believe that there's the different planes or different, um, you know places that we can possibly be coming from. And when you're in that higher frequency, and we've been talking a lot about that in our close group,
Mm.
that it feels very different. And I'll tell you, I want to be there. It feels good. it feels really good. So that is what I would answer for that. And Skip is saying learned a lot, must unlearn. Right. And there is an element of that going on. And good afternoon, Ariel. Love you. Glad that you're here with us. Where can we find Juju on Facebook?
Okay. Hi, sweetie. You can go to Julie Christopher, and you'll see. I think there is a picture. Well, you'll see me. You go to Julie Christopher, and just go ahead and friend me, and then I would love to continue our conversation for sure. Love to be there. So Julie Christopher, you might see Julie Christopher, you might see Juju on my profile. And then that's lovely, lovely, lovely to meet you. What you say, Tamara, is very real. And each time you speak, it reminds me that when you speak, everyone is here listening. You can see how Tamara is one of those light being that is very good as being authentic. When you're on a higher path and you're official on the higher path, those beings like Tamara are authentic. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're not just, oh, I'm going to be genuine, for the day and, be nice. She's very real. She's authentic. And those leaders, I'm in the business world with very big leaders, global leaders that I work with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very rare because she let go of her guards.
Mm.
She doesn't talk from her head. She's done that job. She, cut off her head. And now what? Now you're free. You're free to talk about those moments with your mom. You're free because you had the courage to take that path. You had the courage to do that work. And it's an inner, personal work that no one can interfere with, or no one can really help you with. You're the only one in that line of consciousness between you and God and Source that can go through that. And it's rare. And that from that place, you're able to lead your business, to create the things that you need to create around your purpose and helping more people. So, and do you feel that being like this, Tamara, it takes effort, but it doesn't get you tired? Do you realize that? Do you feel that now?
Yeah, actually, I've never thought of it that way, but yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying?
What I will actually say is that when I am in this type of space, I am not exhausted. However, when I'm not in this type of space, I can be like, whoa, what is going on? I'm literally a little tired, but then I get into it and it's like, okay, yeah, I feel like I've had a nap and it feels good. And Skip, yes, love that about Tamara.
You bet.
Authentic. Well,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
thank you.
And there's no BS. It is what it is. She say things the way it is. And she's not here. She's here with compassion, but she's not here to babysit. That's what I love about Tamara. There's a way where, there's a lot of people out there, they're trying to brush the, hey, follow me. So I'm going to brush and put the Band-Aids on, and I'm going to make you feel a certain way so you can follow me. And they're all doing that, but you're not. And that's why I keep coming on to your show, because it's real, it's authentic. And I hope that more people would follow through to be like that. And that's what is so lovely about you. And that's what makes you so beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I mean, back at you. I'll never forget when we first met each other and how you you find people in your world, in your life, and that you just know that they will be in your life from this point on going forward. And that's how it felt when I first met you, when I first saw you. And then now that is exactly what's happening. And I am grateful. So much so because let me tell you guys, when Juju is talking about being real and everything, we set up an environment where we made it so that you could be real and you could a safe to fail environment. And I actually did. I actually got up. I failed, and what would be what most people would say. However, I didn't. I didn't fail. I learned. I had a moment. It was an amazing opportunity, because what then happened was Juju came right up to me and is right there, and I'll never forget this moment in time. It was almost like a transference of just total love, total acceptance, total, okay, what are we learning from this moment, and going forward. And it was very freeing to be able to realize that it's all right for us to be real. It is all right when those moments happen, like today when I had everything laid out, guys. It was like I had it so I had everything ready to go. Yet that was not the destiny that we were to go in. I am completely understanding why now, because if we had had it so perfect, possibly the message would have been missed.
And the thing of it is, I mean, at the end of the day, it's how, and I'm talking to all of us, how
Right.
can we be, hi Carol, I love you, baby doll. How can
Hmm.
we how can we be our own friend, and the inner me, and not the enemy, So it's, how can we support ourselves and serve serve ourselves as if you were the miracle which you are. I mean, can
Hmm.
you imagine if you get up in the morning knowing who you are? And I'm not going to say you're discovering that for yourself,
Hmm. Hmm.
but when you wake up and you awaken and you
Right.
know who you are, there is a sense of acceptance, obviously, but also you become very flexible. When you have a problem, you find yourself that's like, oh, that's not a problem, that's another opportunity, yay. Or
Yeah.
you fall on your knees and you crack your ankle, like, oh well, thank you, because I really need rest. So
Right.
everything
Right.
changes
Right.
when you know who you are. And
Hmm.
so instead of going around and around and around and going to all of these things that we're doing, my monkey mind loves to learn, and so, and it's like, tick, 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 we becoming this monkey, And it's like, okay, now that I know who I am, I don't even, it, it, like, I can't, I'm not reading books, right? Do you understand that about me, right? If I'm going to read a book, it will be this. I just put my hand on a book
Hmm.
and I just get what I need to get. And that's about it. I don't read book because number one, there's something about it that once you wake up, you you have a knowing. So everything that you about to learn, you already do know it. It's like, why would I take the time to learn this? Because now I know who I am. Like, it doesn't make any sense, So our deepest core of every human, our purpose is to awaken. We
Hmm.
might go get there at every rhythm. Not everyone is going to do it at the same pace, in different ways. There's many, many, many paths that's going to take you there, and we're all on a path. and that's
Mhm.
all good. And so, but you still have to make that effort. You have to make that effort to evolve on the path, because one of these days, like I have, you hand up to be at the end of the path. And I know Skip, Chris, many of you are watching, you are at the end of the path. I know, I already know that. And Skip, you are now outside the path, which where I am. So for
Mhm.
us, there is no more path, which is the end of the path, we exit. And um, that's what I guide people on the path, is eventually when they're at the end of the path, they're gonna have to jump off the cliff. And it takes a lot of courage
Right.
and a lot of acceptance to do.
Mhm.
But meanwhile, we have to help people. We have to be compassionate.
Right.
We
Exactly.
have to.
Exactly.
We have
Yes.
to be compassionate. We have to be in the moment. We can no longer judge somebody from where they're at or what they're doing, or because it's serving them. Just like it serves, what happened to you, Tamara, served you, or what happened to me served me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
compassion is really the glue of human evolution. It's,
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Without a doubt. And that's one of the things that that you, anyone that has ever been in Juju's presence, either on the internet, yes, or in person, knows this very thing about her. It is something that there's such an energy and love that comes from this woman, and you can feel it. You know that there's something amazing to take place, that is going to take place. And we did not even share your, and we're not doing that today, but this woman can sing, and she sings.
I can sing. I can sing a song.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
She's
yeah. Music is the best thing to on the path. Music doesn't need words, doesn't need all this bullshit. It just gets you to an alignment and you're
exactly,
in the moment.
exactly,
And I could share my story on and on. I left my country. I was homeless. I had nothing. My mom kicked me away. I was abandoned and all the stuff. But why? We all have a story. My story matters and your story matters. But at the end of the day, it's like, how about we're just being here now,
uh-huh, uh-huh,
and,
exactly.
and be an acceptance of everything that that happened to us is a gift.
Apps 100%, without question, without question. And when it comes to the music, and this is where I was going to go with
Mhm.
you, is that you then are able to, you are able to bring together the energy that is taking place, and then you've been able to educate also people to understand that you're classically trained. You have a beautiful voice, you have an understanding of breath, you have an understanding of all of this, yet then you have the gifts that you've been given since birth that translates this energy, and the music that is in the world and in the everywhere around, and you have a way of being able to share it. And when you do it in your inspired way, that the sound that is shared somehow resonates within those listening, and you actually are giving it to them as a gift. You're serving them at that very moment.
I one of my in my career, one of the time, I don't know how long we have time, Ryan. You tell me whenever we need to move on.
Well, we're at the top of the hour in just a few
Okay.
minutes, but
Oh,
but
okay.
for you, but
No, no, I won't take more of your time. But I wanted to share this because I had a job. I was actually thought called to do this job that was going into the hospices where when the people were going to leave their body, they were at the end. at the path. They were at the end of the physical path. They
Right.
were about to go through that living and dying moment. So, and I was hired because of my gift. I was hired to be present with my guitar and to be able to link them to God. And so it was such an honor to do this, and that's what I still do. And it's that you're here in beautiful physical health. It happens when the music is played because it's a transmission, it's a dialogue. So it's like it's linking you to your higher self without saying it, but yet it's happening. So there is no words for it, there is no understanding, because there is no understanding, there is no intellect. It's being it in this moment where it's happening. And the instrument of it all, it really is God consciousness. So we're just being the musician, the tool, the instrument. And I tell people in my teachings, teachings to unteach,
Yeah.
you're the instrument. Be the instrument. You don't need, yes, music is the language of the soul. Absolutely. Express the soul. Absolutely. And so, what I'm saying to all of you is you don't have to play a music instrument to be an instrument of love and of compassion. And it's in you already.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I will gonna play a song. I actually I have my little instruments here to oh, by the way, Tamara, your mom is with you. So she's been with you, but she's with you like now.
Very cool.
Is that okay?
That's very okay. Yes.
And yes, she's a place that she's at. Did she have a sister?
No.
Okay, so somebody she's close with, and she's free, and she has a lot of knowing of. She actually sang, because the one thing that she's been saying before that I think triggered you is that I'm right and you're wrong. I'm right. She has this thing where I'm like, I'm right, and that is it. And I don't care who says what, I'm right. And she's saying that she was right, that there is God and there is such a thing as freedom and liberation and love and divine love. And she knew that all along.
Yeah. Oh
She
yeah.
just didn't have maybe the way to express it. And she's been guiding you the whole time on your journey. You're really sharing the message that she wanted to share. So you're speaking her voice.
Yeah.
So I am going to share a little bit of sound. You might want to maybe close your eyes. We know we don't need the eyes to see. The matter of fact, when you close your eyes, you see a lot more. is for Karen. I've been kissed by an angel. I've never felt like this before. And I see in your eyes the sky, the ocean. I've been touched by the hand of God. I never knew this kind of love, but I believe in goodness of people, in Holy Ghost, Buddha too, 'cause I'm free. And I hope someday the world will make sense. Yes, I do. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I hope someday the world will return to innocence. Let me be your angel. Let me guide you to your soul and on to my wings. Let go of your fears to be free, free. Be free. We love you, Karen. We love you. Send you divine love. Keep watching over Tamara and all of the angels. Please keep watching and guiding Tamara. And we send you our love. We know that you are free, free from suffering, free from all. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for celebrating. Thank you for being who you are to for us all in the world, because you are such a gift. You truly are a beautiful, beautiful woman, inside and out, in every which way. I am honored to know you, and I am so grateful to have you in my life. Absolutely.
I feel the same
Absolutely.
way, Tamara. You're my sister. Thank you
Yeah.
for allowing me to be in your field, and everyone who's watching. Um, Divine love, everyone, and have no fear. Lose the fear of fear. There is no such a thing as it's all a miracle, and that you are this divine being, and you're always connected to source. There's never been an interruption. This is beautiful. Thank you so much for having me, everyone. Love, 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 love. Much love. Mwah.
Much love to you too. And as we close this special show, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Julie, for being the service hero that you are. And on top of it, thank you for coming and through a divine way being here on such a special day and making it incredibly meaningful. And you served me in so many ways, and you served so many others. I want to say thank you for that. I love you.
I love you very, very much.
All right, everyone. Oh, and tonight in our closed group, it's going to be fun. Skip Thomas is going to be going live with Swampy. That is, yes, Kent Glade Swampy. And the two of them are going to be having a magical, fun time in the closed group. That is going to be it's going to be fun. That's all I got to say. It's going to be one for the record books. I have a feeling, right? So if you are a part of our organization, please come into the chat tonight at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. If not, come over to Chemo Buddies for Life and go to the group and go to the community and ask to join. Two things. We require that what takes place there stays there, and it is a safe place. We are supporting those people affected by cancer, and we've opened our doors also to those that are feeling isolated and alone through this period of time called COVID. And just this period of time, many people are feeling very alone, and we have a place to be full of humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a lot of love. And tonight is going to be a lot of humor, I have a feeling. A little love mixed in, I'm sure, but it's going to be fun. So, all right. Thank you, everyone. Bye.